And welcome back. And we are now at part 6 of this session's New Comics, bitches! I just kind of vogued there, didn't I? Anyway, so... Okay, now we're going to really talk about my 2 books of the week. Because like I said, there were 4, all kind of vying for the top spot. This is ultimately where they all kind of end up in order. Because there were 4 excellent comics this week. And so this is second to the best here. And this would, again, normally be, almost a tie, really. It's almost too close to tell. But, okay, Swamp Thing number 3. Scott Snyder... That's really all I have to say about this. No, I'm kidding. I have a lot more to say about it. As I probably mentioned before, I have only read some of the early Len Wein, Bernie Wrightson work on Swamp Thing. I have read the entire run of Alan Moore's and read some of the Rick Veitch stuff that came directly after Alan Moore's, and some of the stuff that kind of went through Vertigo over the years and didn't really latch on to it. But this is almost literally going back to where Alan Moore left off with the Swamp Thing. But he's bringing it back into the actual DC universe. Whereas Swamp Thing, he did actually coexist. I mean, because, Alan Moore, there were, had a crossover with Crisis there, and Swamp Thing was dealing with his own crisis, in the fantastic storyline that he did there, which was like the the 50th issue anniversary or something like that. It was a really big deal. But it was great. It's fascinating, wonderful. And I didn't think that anything could top Alan Moore's run on Swamp Thing, and it might not, but damn sure Scott Snyder is going to try. He is going to try at every step to make this as faithful to Alan Moore's run, and also to Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson's run, as anyone has since then. Because here we have, as we had the reveal in our last issue, the woman that saved, and, well, actually saved and also may want to kill Alec Holland, is Abigail Arcane. Now I generally think of her as Abby Holland, because that's what she started calling herself when she fell in love with Swampy. Now, ultimately the covers are a little bit misleading because they're, the big green guy is not really there. But as Alec kind of finds out for himself in this issue, is that he does have control over the green. But the green is not the only thing to worry about here, because Animal Man and Swamp Thing are eventually going to cross over into each other. Because in Animal Man you have the red, and in Swamp Thing you have the green. And these are 2 perfect comic books to intersect somewhere, because they are horror comics. And what we have here is we have, basically the only note that I even took was just saying, and a child shall lead them. And that's what this book is all about. It's about a young boy named William. Well, it's not all about it, but it's mostly about a young boy named William who is in a plastic bubble of sorts, because he has a disease where if he actually is exposed to the outside air, it will kill him. The bacteria and everything will kill him. And the reason that Abigail has come for Alec Holland, not to obviously, not to rekindle any kind of romance, even though it's definitely, I think we have the groundwork for maybe something going on there, and that's highly speculative. But I don't think that Abby can kind of deny the what Alec is, and what he really is, because of her strong attachment to him. But being an arcane, she has a very strong connection to the black, or the rot, as they call it also. And basically the power of the rot is basically everything, or the black is everything that is the antithesis of the green. And as this boy William is about to be, basically they're about to, these very awful kids who are also at this hospital where he's staying, because it's all for very sick children, they are about to pop holes into his, kind of plastic environment there. But ultimately he is revealed to be something other than just a sick little boy. He has a very specific connection to the rot, because he is, and I'm going to just give this spoiler away, so close your ears if you don't want to hear it, but that this little boy William, his last name is Arcane. He is Abigail's half-brother, and he's been hiding him in this hospital, kept away from the world for as long as possible, because she knows that this is a boy that has the ability to destroy all life on Earth. And she's tried to keep him hidden. She's tried to keep him hidden for those reasons. When you see all the really fucked up and disturbing shit that goes on in this book, one of the great things about it, about the reaction by other characters, is that when you see Alec's reaction, it's one of absolute horror and disgust and repulsion and feeling very afraid. But when you see Abigail's reaction, it's one of, kind of same shit, different day, where she's become so inured to all of these horrible things happening around her because of the life that she has chosen, and ultimately her uncle, that evil bastard that he was, Anton Arcane, he is, she knows exactly what she's in for pretty much anytime she steps out of the door. So the way that Snyder writes this, and that Yannick Paquette, and also is joined by another artist on this particular issue, Victor Ibanez, it's structured so well, so creepy, so scary. You want, and obviously it tricks you into feeling sorry for this kid and feeling scared for him, and then all of a sudden, here we go. Snyder turns everything upside down and shakes out, every feeling, every good feeling that you have for this kid, and basically says, okay, this kid is evil. And he is going to do some really evil things unless he's stopped. So, I mean, just... God bless this comic. God bless Swamp Thing. God bless Scott Snyder, Yannick Paquette. Just incredible stuff. Okay. Now on to the book of the week. Those who follow me on Twitter probably already kind of know this is coming. And that is The Last of the Greats, #2. Again, this is Joshua Hale Fialkoff, who is doing one of my other favorite titles, one of my 3 favorite titles, because they're Swamp Thing, Animal Man, and I, Vampire. My 3 favorite titles of the New 52. And, of course, some of the other comics that I've discussed, like Scott Snyder's Batman, also, it's really close up there. It's obviously the top 4, but anyway, Josh was somebody I'd never even heard of before, like 6 weeks ago, before he came out with the first issue of iVampire, and just took it away. And I can't stop getting my hands on his stuff. I mean, and you know how I mean that. But this is a tremendous, tremendous comic. It's terrifying. It really, but it's not horror. It's about our natures, and you know, nobody here is an angel. Nobody here is good. At least the main characters. Basically, what we have here is the last, as we saw in the first issue. You know, he's basically, you know, setting himself up as a savior to all these people. He's basically, you know, this whole alien invasion, boom, you know, they're wiping out people right and left, and then, you know, basically, you know, he's made a deal with these aliens to come down, invade, and he's going to take them all out, and he does. You know, he destroys all their ships so that people will look on him. And as our everyman character, he looks at him. You know, he looks at the last as, well, I mean, he knows that he's evil. He knows that everything about him is evil and very Machiavellian. He wants control of the world, and through his kind of puppet, you know, this character here, he gets it. You know, and he, you know, this man is encouraging everyone to, you know, to follow him, to, you know, to love him, to pledge allegiance to him, not to the governments, not to, you know, but there are, you know, there are other forces at work here, and they think that they might be better or smarter than the last. And, you know, and he's showing, you know, his healing powers and so on and so forth. And, you know, and then there's this moment where this little child, this little boy, runs away, and he wants to find out why, and he's screaming at the last, he's screaming, "I hate you." And he goes into his mind, he finds out why exactly does he hate him. And from what I'm gathering of this, he saw his mother having sex with one of the greats, and and one of the greats killed his mother during, you know, in flagrante delicto here. And at least that's what I'm getting out of it. And so he kind of wipes his memory of this, and the child loves him again. And, you know, he said, "I'm going to take care of this kid from now on," and flies away with him, and everything looks terrific. And, you know, it seems like, okay, this kid's going to be okay. But what does he do? He flies above the water. He sees a school of sharks right below where he is holding this child. And he drops him. He drops this little child into a school of sharks to be devoured because he perceives the child's memories as a threat. All threats will be destroyed. But he doesn't believe that this other, you know, that his kind of puppet is really a threat. So he just kind of, you know, lets him go on believing that he might be a threat, but no, he's not really. And that's the genius here. Fialkov and, you know, Brent Peoples doing art. Amazing stuff. Amazing. Breathtaking. Anyway, that's it for this week. Follow me on Twitter at Donnelly92274. Follow me on Facebook. It's James Donnelly. Pretty easy to find. So that's it for this week's Shadow Gallery, we're out. See you next time.